Why was Tracy always billed first?
Because he was the biggest star. He didn't care, but he was the biggest star. He was a bigger draw.
And you never objected?
No, why would I object?
Was that what a truly...
Not that kind of a
because you're a truly masterful, independent woman. Is that what a truly masterful, independent woman does? Place herself second?
That's
right?
what a really shrewd woman does, you see.
Oh.
Yes, she has brains enough.
I begin to see.
No fool.
If you're really in control, you put yourself in second spot.
Yeah, but that was Metro. We never even discussed it. Spencer said, bill her first. And they said, no, bill you first. And it was better looking that way.
In Pat and Mike, your tennis is very convincing. You're really good at it still, huh?
Well, I was very good at it. I've had 2 rotator cuff operations. I can still play. And it's, I hit a telegraph pole where my ankle was very badly injured. And now the ankle is fused. So we hope it's going to work.
But you could have been a tennis player, couldn't you?
I would love to have been a tennis player. I was a really good golfer, age 14. And I started tennis late. I never played tennis till I went to California. And so that my golf form is excellent. My tennis form is mediocre. But I think tennis, I adore tennis.
Yeah, bit of chronology now. In the mid-60s...
There's a 5-year gap in which you made no movies at all.
That was a relief. I was going to middle to old, peacefully.
You weren't helping Tracy, was you? Yeah? Not going to discuss that. I was going to say, you had organised your independent career so that your work could never be compromised, but when it came to that point, you found there was something more important. You're not going to discuss it, are you?
No, I don't think so.
I can tell when you're not going to discuss something.
You can, because I don't speak to
You don't say it. Anyway, your last working partnership on screen with Tracy was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Yeah.
And he didn't live to see you win the Oscar, and he didn't live to see
He didn't live to see himself win the Oscar. I always felt they gave it to both of us.
Yeah, but there was a lot of people think it was just a criminal omission on the Academy's part not to give him one. Did you think that on that occasion?
I'm not. I don't believe that wildly in prizes.
You don't really think much of the Oscars anyway, do you?
Well, I tell you, I think when a person has been in the business a certain length of time, I think, of course you have Oscars too, but I think it's rather nice when people are knighted, because they're knighted for a good, important bulk of their lives. And we're sort of scatter. I don't know. How good is the part? Unless you are a really rotten actor. But the parts, they're a great part. You have a hard time not winning the award, don't you?
Well, you've won 4 Oscars, which is more than anybody else. I don't see them around. Have you got them?
I'm thrilled to have them, but I don't like to be reminded of the past. I just think onward.
What does it take to be a star? Does it take talent, or is it...
I don't know. I've got it. But, what is it? I don't think it's talent. I think it's just you've got a good hot motor inside you, and it ticks away, and your eyes shine, and your teeth shine. I don't know what the hell it is. Charisma?
A certain amount of...
But also good luck. I think good luck all the way. I would say that is one of the main things. First, I would credit my parents, and then I would say I was lucky enough to have been born at a time when they wanted this, me, my, whatever it is. A kind of, so what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be, because I've lasted over a fair period. And I think that that was luck. That this thing that seems to be me was born at the right time for the shape of it, the quality of the inside, everything else.
You
That's
always-
luck.
You've always been and always looked a bit above it all. Maybe that was the secret of durability.
I don't think I really looked above it all. I mean, I don't think I ever felt above it all.
It never occurred to you?
I felt that it wasn't going to beat me. Let me say that. When I was down in the gutter and couldn't get a job, I thought, well, that's not going to beat me because I love to play golf at Fenwick and tennis and, you know,
It never
there are
occurred-
lots of things I like to do.
It never occurred to you that you sometimes did run into trouble in Hollywood and Broadway because you're an aristocrat in a democratic medium.
That never bothered me. I invite sharp criticism. My attitude invites sharp criticism, and I'm perfectly willing to accept it.
What's the attitude? You're a perfectionist. You want...
Well, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm irritating, I think. You know. Now, I mean, a lot of people said, for instance, in the early days of my career, that I was ticking everyone off and saying, do this, do that. I couldn't have been. They thought that. They made that up. I was petrified, the way everyone else is. Thought, am I going to lose the bloody job?
So it was really nerves that made you seem...
I suppose, don't you? I suppose. Who knows? You don't know yourself, really. But I would say...
You once said that there's no laurel worth resting on, and you worked as hard as ever, but you started doing some movies for fun, didn't you? Making films where you sail around in balloons and you rode side by side with John Wayne.
Yeah, but I mean, I like those stories. As you get older, it's extremely difficult to find a topic that isn't some poor old thing in a rest home.
But you could have settled for playing lovable old ladies, and instead you chose to confront the issue of growing old as it actually is by making On Golden Pond. Was that a conscious decision? Did you think it's...
No, I didn't think anything about it. I thought it was a good script. And at least it wasn't in a nursing home. I think it's hard to find material that, you know, is at all interesting after a certain age, especially if you're a woman. You either play a lunatic or I don't know what you play. But so I seek stories of that sort.
Anyway, in On Golden Pond, which was...
I played my mother in On Golden Pond. I played my mother.
You Fonda play your father?
No, Fonda played himself. Well, Fonda played somebody, but he didn't play
Well,
my
in the movie,
father.
the Henry Fonda character is obviously having...
He's colourful.
But he's hating to grow old, isn't he? And your character is saying, no, you must accept age as part of life's process. There's even something noble about it. Did you really believe that?
I don't think there's anything noble about it. I've been rotting away. It cannot be called fun in anyone's vocabulary, can it? If they have any sense.
Well, in your latest movie, that's the ultimate solution of grace quickly. That you seem to be saying exactly that.
What,
You're saying that old
go
age,
away fast.
old age is something you should get out of by any means,
No,
including
no,
euthanasia.
no. Only if you, you know, if it's a nightmare. I think you should have a right to get out of it if it's a nightmare. She wanted to pack up and quit only because all she had to do was to sit. She was not used. The older people are not used. They say, oh, go and sit down and have a good time. And they're all waiting in rest homes all over the place for the next world. Come.
But you're not doing that.
Well, I'm not doing that, but I've been
What are
damn
you working
lucky.
on?
I've been lucky. And I have money. And
What are you working on now, though? You've got a
Go
secret.
away. I
You've got
have
a secret
secret.
project.
Yes, I
haven't
sure
you?
have.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the reason I did quickly was that I think, you know, we all live and we all die. And this terror of the next world, I think it's a mistake. And I think lying there with something up your nose and every other thing and just unable to speak is the wickedest thing that has been done to the human race. And I think people should be allowed to depart when they wish to depart. And if no one wants you, no one will employ you. You have no money. All you do is either sit in the street or get sent to your family, by your family, to a rest home where you're surrounded with people who are tied into a chair. I don't see the sense. It doesn't seem right.
But you better be damn sure that people are asking to be let out of this and not just...
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a terribly difficult problem because the right to kill someone is difficult. But if you want to depart and can convince someone that you really are in no shape to go on, I think you should be allowed to.
You said one day that you might do something different. What would that have been?
Well, I would love to have been a painter, and I would love to have been a writer. I would like to have done anything that I could do alone. The work that I do, which is selling my deteriorating self, that is very humiliating work. And you have to come off as a kind of, I don't know what.
Do you really believe that, or do you think this is
I
another
know
challenge?
goddamn well that's true, if you'll pardon my saying so, because when you cease to be delicious, you get dumped. And
You never got dumped.
not yet. Could happen any minute. I've been dumped and picked up again. I've run ahead to the next stop and said, here I am. But I think that when you sell yourself, that is difficult. And I think that's why I would like to have had a more private profession.